All right, welcome everyone to Miss TV Total Football. It's been crazy. It's been crazy the last 12 hours or so. Nagelsmann sacked Thomas Tuchel to Bayern Munich. I've got Arvind, who's been part of the channel a long time ago. I'm so glad to have him on. Obviously, he's a Bayern Munich fan. To all the originals out there, if you remember, Arvind, did come to the channel quite a few times when we had the Champions League draws a while back, and Bayern Munich would be around and whatnot. So we've got him back. We need to hear from a Bayern fan how they're feeling, what's going on. Arvind, how you doing, my man?
Yeah, all good. I wish it wasn't under these circumstances because obviously, it's just, I wish we were talking about Bayern or Chelsea in the semi-finals or Bayern or Chelsea in the final. Obviously, that can't happen. Bayern Chelsea in the final, but man, honestly, the entire fan base, including me, is just so sad. Honestly, we just put a lot into this project, for so long, and then to see it all just crumble within 3 hours is just, man, honestly,
it's mad. Let's talk about this a little bit. I mean, Irene, just walk me through it, man. Nagelsmann, I personally, from someone outside, obviously you're a Bayern Munich fan, so you could tell me a lot more. But from outside, I didn't see any issues. Champions League quarterfinal, no losses in the Champions League, like all wins every single game, group stage games. The knockout phase against PSG as well, a couple of wins. Only a point behind Dortmund. I understand that is probably, disastrous in Bayern Munich's phase. But nonetheless, the season isn't over. Arvind, walk me through, man. Did you see this coming? What's going on?
No Bayern fan, I can tell you. Apart from the few that obviously wanted him sacked because, he was too young and stuff like that, which I can understand. He has made quite a few amateur errors, but that's expected of a manager who's younger than our captain. Do you understand? And it's and honestly, it's we've literally signed so many people around him that are, interconnected with his workings and stuff. Like, for example, we not long ago sacked a goalkeeping coach who was Neuer's best friend for 11 years, just to bring someone in who was Nagelsmann's partner for such a long time, who was also a goalkeeping coach. And it was the same situation with the summer where we spent 150 million pounds just to accommodate, his ideas and stuff like that. And obviously replacing Lewandowski with Choupo-Moting is a completely other situation. So it's just it was only 4 days ago in which our president said, "Oh yeah,
I've got it right here on the screen."
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That was only 4 days ago, honestly. And it's just,
I can't believe how they can say this and then 4 days later have this guy sacked. I mean, this is mad. I mean, look at what this says. We documented that with a 5-year contract because we want to build something with him. You can see a clear progress in these 1.5 years. Julian is doing very well. The coaching discussion in between came from outside. We didn't start it. I mean, as you were saying offline, you guys at that time was a record manager.
Yeah, 25 million pounds.
25 million pounds. Euros, I think, because now we've broken that with Graham Potter, 21.5 million pounds. How could Bayern Munich go backwards on this particular comment from your president, literally 4 days ago?
Yeah, but this is one of the things that we're trying to understand. It's either it's an accumulation of things that he's done from the past, because there's been a lot of situations where, for example, him and our club captain Neuer have recently the relations have waggled quite a bit because of obviously the goalkeeping situation with the trainer and stuff like that, where he sacked him. But obviously that's not something to be sacked over. And especially if you look at our Champions League record this season, 8 wins, 8 games and 7 clean sheets. The only 2 goals that we've conceded against is Pilsen, our Barcelona, Inter and PSG. It was only 2 weeks. I think it was only 2 weeks ago where we beat PSG 2-0. And that was really the game where it started hitting me that I feel like we could do some great things under Nagelsmann, because it was just like the passion. You know, he was a Bayern fan from childhood. You could just really see like the love and the passion, the attention he gave into that game. And that was where I thought things would change. That was what made me believe, you know, we could actually do something this season. Obviously, last season was a bit of a disappointment going out to Villarreal, but this season was really the season where I thought, even with the loss of Lewandowski, even with, you know, little gaps here and there that we haven't filled, his tactical nous could still get us to, you know, a Champions League semi-final or a Champions League final and a Bundesliga win. Obviously, it isn't ideal in a Bundesliga season to be 1 point behind Dortmund at this stage. But what I'm seeing, and what I've been seeing a lot of reports, is that apparently he was sacked because obviously one or two reasons with his coaching performance, but also the fact that they didn't want to miss the opportunity of bringing in Tuchel. Now, now it's like, obviously we were linked to Tuchel in 2018 and we missed out of him, but it's like, why would you then proceed to, you know, put so much into this project and ditch it? And we're not even talking January, by the way. We're not even talking just after World Cup. We're talking April. Sorry, it's just coming up to April. We've just got a decisive league game against Dortmund around the corner, and then also a Manchester City tie. So it's like, do you understand what I mean? It's just, honestly,
do you know what? I think the football wasn't even. I don't even think the football was bad. Like, you watch them a lot more. I've watched them bits and pieces here and there in the Champions League. I don't even think the football was bad. Do I think they were absolutely polished? I don't think so. There were certain areas where you could see there's flaws, but I didn't think there was a necessity to get rid of Nagelsmann.
No. There was never. It was never. You know how you can pinpoint on like a decision, like for example, Niko Kovac, when we had him back in 2019, there was no like clear progression. Or with same thing with Ancelotti, there was no clear progression within 1.5 years. I could understand why they felt like they needed to sack him, but with Nagelsmann, it's like. And first season, he made a lot of mistakes. But then you look at him this season, apart from maybe the Bundesliga, where he could have done one or two things better, but that's expected because I think the Bundesliga has gone up to a higher level. Apart from that, you can't really pinpoint an exact reason as to why he was sacked. And do you know what the funny thing is as well? Is that apparently he found out on a website or on social media before the club even spoke to him. Honestly,
here it is on the screen. More on FC Bayern situation. Understand that Julian Nagelsmann has not received any direct communication from Bayern, yet German coach saw the information on the media. Club statement expected on Friday, but it was decided internally in the last 5 to 6 hours and 100% confirmed. I mean, the man didn't even know. That's how ruthless this situation and harsh it was. Fabrizio Romano then further apparently quoted to say, from my understanding, there were some serious problems between Nagelsmann and Bayern board, plus some players were no longer trusting the coach's tactical ways. That's why they decided to go with something new. I mean, Arvind, were there any fraction in regards to the board, like Oliver Kahn and Salihamidzic? Like, is anything going on there?
Yeah, this is the thing. You remember, obviously, we had Hansi Flick and stuff like that, and it was a similar situation that occurred there. It was the fact that, you know, he didn't get along well with the board. He didn't get the players that he wanted, so it was best just to part ways. Now, when Brazo came in and signed Nagelsmann, he was like, yeah, we really believe in this man. You know, we really believe in him. We really want to work with him. And over the years, he's given everything that Nagelsmann wanted. Like, he wanted De Ligt, he got him. He wanted Mane, he got him. He wanted Mazraoui, he got him. And this is the thing that I can't understand, is that now you put so much effort into working with the manager and there's been no faults. And the thing is, back in Germany, we're called FC Hollywood because everything that's like drama about us always gets leaked to the media. But there was no sort of like friction ever between the board and Nagelsmann, because my understanding of it was that, you know, they were both transparent. They were both working with each other so well. But the thing is, Nagelsmann is one of the nicest guys around. Now, if you get someone like Tuchel in, Imagine how he's going to react if he doesn't get his way. Do you understand? And you know about that as well.
I know
Literally
about it.
in September, and it's not happened in Chelsea. It's happened in PSG. It's happened with Dortmund. So,
Yeah.
like, it's like, what's going to happen? Are we going to be in the same situation in like 1 year where we're like, okay, Tuchel's gone because another row with the board?
Do you know what? I mean, let's talk about this now. Let's talk about the transition away from Nagelsmann. I think we can both agree, wow, what a harsh, probably one of the harshest, sackings I've ever come across. There's some records going around that he's 137 goals that's been scored off 110 games, something mad, ridiculous. I mean, this season, as we've said, unbeaten, all wins in the Champions League so far. Only a point behind with Dortmund around the corner. Now, Arvind, is one of the reasons, and it's been thrown around in social media, that Bayern Munich, as you've mentioned already, that the interest for Thomas Tuchel was already there. And now there's all these rumors coming around, whether they're true or not, I don't know, whether Nagelsmann had some bad relationship going on with the board or falling off with the board and some players. Do you think Bayern probably just saw this opportunity that someone like Thomas Tuchel is available in the market, could potentially get snapped up by Real Madrid, with Ancelotti's future up in the air? Brazil apparently getting touted, the Brazil international team. Do you feel, Arvind, that Bayern just saw this opportunity that, you know what, it doesn't matter. It's a 5-year contract with Julian Nagelsmann. Yes, it's only the second year with him, but we can't lose out on Thomas Tuchel right now. He's just an elite level manager. We need him in, and we'll see what happens. They've given him 2.5-year contract, so it's not like, oh, we believe in you for the rest of Bayern's future. Yeah. No, we're bringing you in to win the Bundesliga, because it's a failure if we don't win it, and to win the Champions League, because potentially if you beat City, you're in a good situation.
See, this is the situation now that we're in. If we don't win either competition, where does the fault then lie? Do you understand? And listen, we've had situations with Salihamidzic where he got abused really badly because of the relations that him and Flick had and stuff like that, because obviously everyone was backing Flick when them two had a situation going on. But what happens when we don't win these two competitions? And the whole reason that we're sacking Nagelsmann in the first place is that this season, apparently, or what the comments that are being made, is the fact that they feel like we're in a good situation to win both competitions, but they don't trust Nagelsmann enough to go on and do that. So they're
getting thrown around, Arvind. Is that true? Like, are you guys up for the treble? Are you in the
German? Yeah, exactly. So this is the thing. Nagelsmann, in a DFB Pokal as well, we haven't had such good seasons in the past, but this season has been the season where we've stayed in all three competitions, and we're still in all three competitions going into April. So everything's still to play for. So why would you, again, this, especially the timing of this decision, it's April, you need to stabilize the players. Obviously, Tuchel coming in doesn't exactly have much time to work with the players. So it's just like, is it just going to be, to be honest, this sacking, I've not seen any other big club in my life sack a manager who's determined to be a long-term project, sacked in April just because they can see the chances of the treble and they don't believe in the manager and they want to bring someone in. It's like loaning someone for 6 months basically, but never seeing the other guy ever again.
It makes me think, Arvind, something sinister. So, like, there must have been a fallout. Like, I can't imagine how it's just for the fact that, they see Tuchel in the market, let's just go and get Tuchel and let's just ditch Nagelsmann. It surely cannot be just that. Something sinister has happened here. Jacques Cancelo over here is saying, I've only found out, and now I know I won't find Nagelsmann when I return to Munich. He wanted me to Bayern. I'd like to thank him. As for Tuchel, he made me lose a Champions League final, so I hope he will win it for me this year. I mean, look, I can definitely sense it from your voice that it is harsh and you're somewhat disappointed, of course, because Nagelsmann didn't do anything wrong. And in fact, as you said, we're still in line for the treble. But now Thomas Tuchel's in there. How you feel about this, Gaffer? I mean, so you know how much I love this guy, man. I wish Chelsea didn't get rid of him, but owners didn't want him. But how you feel about him, man?
Yeah, so like, again, This is a man that I can't make any dispute about. Like, he's got the Champions League pedigree. He's one of the best managers I've seen in knockout competition. Just the fact of what he did with PSG, just what he did with even Dortmund, like in
Mm,
2017, the way they played football was mesmerizing. Of course, just recently with Chelsea winning the Champions League, that's no fluke. That's a top quality manager right there, and I
yep.
can't fault him whatsoever. Would I have liked to take him now? No, of course not.
Mm,
But there's no doubt in his pedigree, and I think if there was definitely one man to certainly who's more out of the likely between new Tuchel and Nagelsmann to win the Champions League, of course I would have gone with Tuchel because he has
yeah.
that nous. He is
He's
passionate.
just like
He tactically,
master in
yeah,
competition,
he is,
isn't
and
he?
he 100%, and he's the type of manager that you could put trust in to make the right decision at the right points. And leading into the City game, even though we've just sacked Nagelsmann, if it was any other manager, I would have been less confident. But because it's Tuchel, I feel like he can just come in and not necessarily win that game, but I feel like if there was chances of winning that game, I feel like it's best put with Tuchel
It's gonna
in
be a
the time that he
blockbuster,
has.
bro. It's gonna be a blockbuster, and I
Yeah,
feel like
100%.
maybe Tuchel probably just has the edge with that team, the Bayern you guys have, Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Sadio
Exactly.
Mane, Kimmich, all of these players, man. I think Tuchel's
Yeah.
gonna cook, bro.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, he likes defenders, right? So if you look at our defenders,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, yeah, that's one of the things that Nagelsmann was brought in to like improve as well, the defense, stabilize it. And obviously, last summer we had a great buy in terms of defensive players. You know, De Ligt, Mazraoui, Cancelo,
Mm,
Upamecano just recently coming into great form. So you know, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm very interested to see what Tuchel does. As much as I am sad with the Nagelsmann sacking,
mm.
but again, it's just I don't want it to become a cycle of, you know, for the last 6 seasons we've had 6 different managers, and
Yeah.
that's another thing we've and since Omar Hitzfeld back in the 2000s, we've not had a stable manager that has lasted more than 3 seasons. I think Pep Guardiola lasted 3 seasons, but then he
Yep.
left to go
Yep.
to City, of course. Um, but it's just yeah, I've in many cases I want Tuchel to at least stay for like 2 or 3 seasons.
Mm.
Whether I think that'll happen, I really don't know because obviously the boards are quite strict. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But
I
I'm
wanna
interested to see what he's going to do.
I want to talk a little bit about this to you before we move into the final stage of the conversation. What is this fascination? I see Chelsea fans sometimes move this way. I
Mm.
want to have a manager for a little longer and this that. From your perspective, Arvind, Bayern Munich's been winning stuff, man. Like not that long ago, they won the Champions League. I
Yeah.
think straight after that we won, and then after that Real Madrid won.
Mm.
So it hasn't been that
Yeah.
long that Bayern Munich won. They're always in the conversation for the Champions League. It's a
Mm.
quality team always. You've been taking the Bundesliga for the I don't know how many seasons. It's been like
Yeah,
10, 11
definitely. Yeah.
seasons in a row.
10, 11 in a row. Yeah.
So, Arvind, what is it? What's the fascination that is it? Shouldn't success be superior to managers sticking around? I mean, you guys are getting quality managers anyway, all the time.
I I can understand that, and that has worked in the past. Obviously, we saw when Kovac was sacked, Flick came over and he transformed us into like a sextuple winning squad. So it
Yeah.
was like, yeah, that's perfect. But then I, I don't understand whether it's like a replenishment situation, whether it's like
Mm,
you get a manager in halfway through the season and he's going to come in and it's like a manager bounce and he's going to win the Champions League for you. That's in many cases, that's not how I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be like Nagelsmann, a Bayern Munich fan from when he was young, going on to lift the Champions League.
mm.
That's like a childhood dream for him. And you know, that's something that I would have loved to
You're
see
a
him do.
romantic, basically. You're a
Yeah,
romantic.
yeah,
You
and
like the
and
whole
it
package. You
is,
don't want like a mercenary like
yeah,
Thomas Tuchel.
no, but the thing is, it's like we've never had someone like Nagelsmann before, where it's like he bleeds Bayern Munich as a manager. We've
Mm,
had that in players, but we haven't had that as a manager, and like since your Pinkus, but that was like 2018. But he was never going to
yeah.
stay because you know he wanted to retire at that point, and same in like previous stints he's had as well. But it's like this is the first time where I thought Bayern would actually stick with a manager for 5 seasons, and I was willing to give it time. And I don't know whether it just works for Bayern, the fact that, you know, sacking these managers and and bringing in these managers halfway through a season and them going on to win a Champions League. Because if you look at all of our Champions League successes, the last two ones, even recently, Heinkes only stayed for 2 seasons, and Flick only stayed for 1.5. So is it just a thing of the players need a replenishment to, get their spirits lifted to like win the Champions League with a new coach? I mean, I'm not sure how that psychology works, but it's worked for us in the past. I'm not sure if I hope to God for the board it works for us again. Of course, I would like to see it happen again because I want to see Tuchel succeed because he is such a brilliant coach. But yeah, especially for the board's sake, I hope this works out.
Hey, I mean, I feel like you guys are going to go on a bit of a madness. This guy, Thomas Tuchel, is serious. He's an absolute serious manager. The way he transformed us when he took over from Frank Lampard, we were a nothing
100%.
team to pulling us all the way from 9th or 10th to top 4th. I think we ended up finished 3rd or 4th. I'm pretty sure we finished 4th, maybe just 4th, because we got lucky right at the end with Spurs beating someone, and then we lost to Aston Villa or something like that. But obviously the Champions League victory, the triumph that we had with Thomas Tuchel, all the adversities that we went through, and even then we finished 3rd last season. You got Dortmund coming up next, 1 point behind. Do you know what? We played Dortmund a couple of weeks ago.
Only a few weeks ago.
And honestly, I don't think they were that great. Like over the 2 legs, we had their measure easy. I think Thomas Tuchel is gonna go past Dortmund, win you the Bundesliga, which is not a special feat for you guys. You guys win it every time. But
let's just say winning the Bundesliga and the Pokal at Bayern isn't enough. Let's just put it that way.
Isn't enough. But I feel Pep Guardiola is going to be worried looking at this guy now, because he went on that Champions League season when we won. We beat Pep Guardiola's team 3 times that particular season. Obviously, the season after Pep sort of figured it out. But I mean, Arvind, just to wrap things up, are you confident? Because for me, this guy is the real deal. Bro. Yeah, he's the real deal.
And what Chelsea fans have been telling me, especially obviously you and Taron are very vocal in your support of Thomas Tuchel. And listen, I've as much as you watched him, I've watched him as well since back in like 2020. I think it was 2015 when he took over Dortmund. But the things he was doing, obviously with Aubameyang, Mkhitaryan, Royce, Kaggle, it was insane to watch. Yeah, Dembele as well in the second season. It was just incredible. Again, I don't doubt his abilities, not whatsoever. He is a brilliant manager. What he did to PSG, what he did to Chelsea, what he did to Dortmund, he took them over at a point where it wasn't going well, and he transformed them into sides where, you could smell danger, and that you have to be right on top of your game to overcome this man. And that's no fluke for me as a manager. I know he has those qualities, but it's just whether the fact that he has enough time to come in and be able to work these players enough so that they can go on and do that, which I'm not sure at this moment.
He thrives in no time. He thrives in in pressure situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but has any manager done in April? Sorry, coming in at the end of March.
Bro, there's the first for everything, bro. There's the first for everything.
if you could go and do that, but then 100% he's like one of the managers I've ever seen, and he still is. Listen, the next few weeks are going to be interesting. Obviously, we're in an international break right now, so the players are not going to go and the players could go and say something, but these past like few hours, I didn't have much sleep last night either, just thinking about the situation of like, is this real? Oh man. But I'm excited to see, but I'm sad at the same time.
Nah, 100% here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, look, we're going to have a conversation with Arvind a lot moving forward. I get the feeling there may be a few players from Chelsea that may get linked because Thomas Tuchel, like them. We'll see. Maybe not. Mason Mount, maybe even Mateo Kovacic. You never know. Kovacic is a massive, massive fan of Thomas Tuchel. So, look, we'll watch this space. There is that situation where if we do beat Chelsea, beats Real Madrid, hopefully we do, and Bayern get through City, Thomas Tuchel returns to the Stamford Bridge, and one Todd Bowley will be watching. We'll be watching from the stands, and he'll know what he's let go of. So we'll see what
Let's
happens.
hope
Then,
for
ladies
it.
and
Let's
gentlemen,
hope for it.
100%. Let's hope for that. I think that particular watch along, that particular week, the previews, the reviews, Arvind is going to be living. He's going to be living in this particular channel, and the other one is with the other side of the coin. So it'll be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button before you go. If you're here for the first time, subscribe to Miz TV Total Football. And Arvind, thank you so much for your time, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Miz. Yeah, it's been good chatting again.
100%, 100%. And we shall see you very, very soon. I think, as I said, there's going to be a lot of Bayern Munich watch-alongs coming on your way very, very soon. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.